And hello, good morning. We are live. Bowls.tv, BOLES.television. And I have these on, and I still hear an echo. I don't know why or where or when or how, so now I have to take them off. And I'll tell you, I always think I have it solved, but when I put them on, the echo's there. So I don't know what's going on, but I'll tell you why I thought maybe I had it solved today. Elgato, the company, runs this live stream and runs our lives. Now, I've learned when I go like this is not good for here. This looks terrible. I have to keep my head up. I have to look at something. I have to look down like this, not turn my head down. So it looked okay yesterday. Today, it's not looking so good. Maybe it needs to get the mud in it so it's more manageable. I don't know. We go to the skin doctor tomorrow, so I guess we'll see how we're doing there. So Elgato runs our lives. Elgato provides our microphone. Elgato provides our lights, our cameras, and our action. And they also provide the software that we use that's giving me my echo. And it's very complicated, and it's all held together with spit and sealing wax. As the song goes, Puff the Magic Dragon. So yesterday, and this Elgato stuff will update itself if you allow it to. And there's software for the camera as well, because we use an Elgato camera. And so yesterday in the afternoon, I got an update from Elgato saying, hey, we're going to update all your stuff. So, okay, they update. Restart the machine, and they say, hey, that NVIDIA Broadcast, which we do use as a separate standalone piece of software to get rid of our background noise, to make me look a little bit softer in the ugly face. And they also do audio speaker noise reduction as well. Okay, so I love NVIDIA Broadcast. We've talked about that repeatedly here. So Elgato yesterday says, hey, Big Dave, you know that NVIDIA Broadcast everybody loves? Well, Davey, we've incorporated in Elgato Wave, which is the software that runs the audio portion of this broadcast. So you can just add NVIDIA Broadcast as a filter, and you can naturally add NVIDIA Broadcast to the Elgato Cam software. So I was all caught up in the Elgato fun, thinking, well, that would be interesting. Then I wouldn't have to run NVIDIA Broadcast as a separate standalone app. I could just run it as a plugin on Elgato Wave and run it as a plugin on the Elgato Cam software and be done with it. Remove a middleman from the entire conversation, even though everything was working perfectly. Until I got that notification from, hey, Elgato. So I follow the instructions. Some of it's beta, some of it's alpha. Download this from NVIDIA, download that from Elgato, but do this first before you do that, because if you do that before this, it's not going to work. So I carefully print it out. I followed the download. I followed the meow meows. I did everything that was asked of me. Restart. Elgato Stream Deck has crashed. Now the Stream Deck is what I use to turn my microphone on and off on my microphone. Not my microphone. Now let me just see if I'm echoing here. Let me just listen to myself. On and off on my microphone. Not my microphone. Now let me just see if I'm echoing here. Just listen to myself. Okay, it's not terrible. So I get the window of death. Application DLL not found. Error. Streamlabs YouTube. Error. As it was restarting, I thought, oh, well, that doesn't look good. And everything restarts, starts to load. Reliving it. flashback, triggering myself. And then I get like 5 different errors. This that can't find NVIDIA Broadcast, can't find your microphone, can't find your audio out channels. And I'm thinking, oh, Nene, what have I done to myself? I had to install like 4 or 5 different things. And from what I can tell is none of it worked. And Elgato sold me on this whole blending thing, right? You don't need the standalone NVIDIA Broadcast. We've embedded it in Elgato. It's blended. Blend. It doesn't blend. There's no blending. So I thought, now what do I do? Do I step back to the last saved known good of this machine? Well, yeah, I could. So I thought, well, the thing that Streamlabs always has me do whenever anything goes wrong with my computer is to reinstall my video driver from scratch. Do a custom install. So I call up the NVIDIA software. No NVIDIA software found. You start it, it disappears. Restart the machine. NVIDIA control panel is not available. And my screen, which is very high res, is now like DOS res, right? So everything's very big, very fundamental. I'm thinking, what have I done? So I try to read down the NVIDIA drivers, install it, won't install. I restart. Error in Stream Decks. Missing DLLs. And I'm triggered back to Windows 94, 93, 95. Oh my. Restart into the big screen. I'm saying, can I get NVIDIA to run? It won't run. So I go to the Dell backup. I said, okay, if I can go to my last known good, my machine takes regular backups. I'll put the backup from yesterday because I really haven't installed anything new since yesterday, so everything will be just fine. So I start up the Dell troubleshooter, find a restore point, put my machine back to the way it was. No restore points found. Please try again later. What do you mean no restore points found? That's the restore point is on my computer, isn't it? Or is it on the Dell computer? So I tried it again. No restore point found. Does not exist. So I'm thinking, oh boy. I have a great big monitor with giant fonts. My microphone's not working. My headphone's not working. My speakers are not working. Nothing's working. I said, well, so we'll do the show for a couple of days as I have to reinstall everything from scratch, probably. So I do another restart, trying to see if I can get rid of the error messages, like maybe Windows will fix itself. Well, after about 4 or 5 restarts, it seemed like things were sort of calming down. And on like the 5th restart, I got this message from NVIDIA. And it was like tiny NVIDIA and then the giant overlay NVIDIA. And I was able to go to the smaller NVIDIA, which is what I was looking for. They were identical, but one was big font and they were like half on each other, and said, continue the custom install. And then I just sat back and went like this for about 15 minutes as I watched installing. Nothing happened. Restart, went back, did it again. This time it's sort of installed. And then I said, we have to restart your computer. I said, okay. Restart the computer. And it seemed like it worked. I don't know why. I tried to fix it. I don't know if I fixed it. I don't think I fixed it. But at least when we restarted, everything was back to the big high-res screen. And I started NVIDIA Broadcast, which had disappeared, and it started. Started Wavelink, by Elgato, and it started. I said, I don't know why this is working because I didn't really do anything. So all that alpha beta stuff that I installed for Elgato, I don't know where it is. I didn't uninstall it. It never worked. Somehow, everything appears to have gone back to the way it was supposed to be. And I don't know why. So then I said, well, now I have to start up Streamlabs and see if the music plays, if my microphone is working. And I did, and everything seemed to be okay. So I said, well, we really have to just redo this and restart. So I did. I restarted. Oh, something just happened. I restarted the whole thing. And it seems like it all came back okay. Just got freaked out because NVIDIA broadcast is giving me some kind of a message about something that, and I'm not sure what it's telling me. Is there an update or is there, what do I have to do? Why is it taking me to this page? I don't understand. I guess it's trying to sell me something. I don't know. Get rid of it. We're live. We're okay. So everything that I restarted, put Streamlabs back up, did a little test. It seems like everything is back to normal, but it shouldn't be. It should all be destroyed. But somehow NVIDIA woke up and fixed itself, is what it looks like. I don't know how. And when I started this stream, it said from Twitch, your bit rate is not set right. It's too high. It's not working. What's wrong with you? You're in trouble. I said, my bit rate is great. And now it says it's excellent. I have no idea what's going on. Sometimes I just sit here and let the world happen to me. So I am slightly concerned that I installed stuff that took about 25 minutes yesterday, and I don't know where any of it is or what it's doing. And I'm fearful that if I would go look for it and try to uninstall it, that something terrible would happen. Which is nothing new, but that's the way it goes. But here we are, together again. Our lights are working. Our microphone is working. Our music is playable. All is right with the world. At least for a moment. Now, another thing I noticed in preparing for this show is, I'm going to click something here, so I'm not trying to be rude, although I may be. I have been accused of that in the past. I'm just going to click and see users in chat. Now, this is very interesting because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we have 7 unidentified users in chat, right? And usually, and most of them are bots, usually we have like 25 or 30 of these things that just hang around. And the weird thing is these bots hang around even when you're not live streaming. They just like sit in your chat, I guess, waiting for you to say something or do something. It's very freaky because during the day you're testing stuff or you look at stuff or you look at your Twitch page and you see all these users, bots in chat that are still there from like weeks ago. And now, this morning, when I started the stream, there were no bots there. I've never seen that before. Now, it makes me wonder, somebody clicked the switch somewhere and got rid of all the bots. Or at least, like, cleaned them out or, removed them from being inactive in an active stream. I don't know. But I'm delighted by it and depressed by it because I don't like the bots, and when I check at them, I can see that I have banned many of them in the past because I thought that's what you're supposed to do. But then you talk to regular Twitch streamers, they say, no, bots are there collecting information for advertisers, possible sponsorship deals. Some of them are from Twitch, even though they're not identified as being from Twitch. If they're not bothering you, and you're not trying to use them to get to be a partner, which I guess some people do, and they're not interrupting your chat, just leave them there. Okay, so I did, and I have been, and now they're all gone. And now a few of them are back. I don't know how this works. I find the whole thing very confusing. I'm just lucky I'm here today, really. I wasn't counting on it. Yesterday at 3 o'clock, no show tomorrow. It's not happening. I'm going to have to reinstall everything. And maybe I should have, because things that you tend to install that disappear have a tendency to come back. The dead don't come back, right? St. John said that. But sometimes they never leave. Yikes. Now, I didn't know anything about Trader Joe black garlic. I learned all about it yesterday. And this was before the tragedy of me messing up my entire computer. Hey, Gordon's here. Silly idea. Try using the headphones on a different computer. Yeah, the headphones are fine. There's something with this software, the Elgato Wave, because I have to use it to connect the Elgato microphone. You have the stream mix and you have the headphone monitor link. My headphones plug directly into the microphone. So there's some kind of weird echo going in there. But I can't find a different place to plug in my headphones to get a different sound source. Because technically, if I listen to my stream mix, it should be the noise-canceled, beautiful sounding sound that we have come to love. But it doesn't seem to work for me. So I have it on monitor mix. Now you have me all wound up. And yes, I am a little bit, not terrible. It's just a slight weird echo. And I can't even turn off that sound. Now I am on the live stream. Oh, now this is pretty good, actually. Oh, but it's very loud in my headphones. Let me see. Oh, that's even louder. Okay, now how can I turn this down? This. Now, is that taking away my microphone or not? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Now maybe this is working. Maybe this is working. I have to listen to myself. Maybe we fixed it. This is working. I have to listen to myself. Well, Davey. Now let me turn this up. Oh, hello. Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, is that still up? No, that's not up. There's a slight echo. Oh, it is a slight echo now. What have I done? I had it fixed, I thought. Oh, now I've really fixed it. Stream output. It's clicking. Now it is a little bit weird. And I don't know why. Huh. Testing 1, 2, 3. This is a test. So this is my monitor link. And this is my stream mix link. This is my stream mix link, which is okay. A slight echo. Not sure if I like this better, if I like the other one better. This is my regular headphones. Sounds the same. I'm sure this is really delightfully interesting, but Gordon is making me do it, so. It should work perfectly. Now it's just a little weird. I can't quite figure out where that's coming from. That echo. Hello? Hello? Oh, is that the echo? There's a little echo. It's all in the name of science. Science! Science! I really have no clue about any of this. Monitor link. Stream link. It's very interesting. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on or how it's happening. I see. So that's... a little bit of echo. Is it an echo? I guess it is sort of an echo. It's not terribly annoying, but it is sort of annoying. Oh, who knows? I guess I should just puffin up and fly right, as they say in Nebraska. As straight as the crow flies. I guess we'll try this. It is sort of weird, though. There's just a very slight echo, but... Hey! So this black garlic thing. I didn't know anything about black garlic. Taking these off. I didn't know anything about black garlic, but I guess if you're a Trader Joe aficionado, black garlic is like really important because it's delicious. I don't know what you would use it on. Well, now I know. You add it to your just eggs. You add it to your salad. You can, I guess, rehydrate it. One person said the best use of black garlic is take a bunch of broccoli, chop it up, put it in a pan, put olive oil on it, salt, your black garlic. Yeah. Your black garlic. This one's better. Cook at 400 degrees for 20 minutes, and you'll have the most delicious black garlic broccoli olive oil that you've ever had in the rest of your life. So I think that's very interesting. I'm very happy to try it. I don't know if it works or not. Hey, Gordon says, I've heard amazing things about this black garlic from the Kosher Trader Joe's Facebook page. Wonderful. That'll be very interesting. I'm very interested to try this. I'm not a big garlic fan, but I know it has a lot of health benefits, so I do eat it. I don't have the same aversion to garlic as I do to super spicy stuff, so I think it would be delightful. And it looks very popular, at least in a Google search. Oh, here they sprinkled it on something. Fermented black garlic. Cool. So I mentioned it to the Jan Marie, and she said, hey, okay. So we'll be trying this soon. Citrusy garlic. How can there be such a thing? Oh, Cuban style. Fun. Yeah, Trader Joe, I'm telling you, what are you going to do? It's just fun everywhere you look. New things, delightful things. And on that note, we're coming right back. Taking a very brief break. Returning in a moment. And we are back from break. I'm David Bowles, and this is Bowles.tv, BOLES.tv. It's Bowles.tv, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Don't do like this. Do like this. Look down. So, hey, Gordon said during the break, and if you like peanut butter, oh, we love peanut butter, try their Bamba. Now, here's the problem. We will try, but here's the problem. It looks like there's a lot of Bamba. Is this like granola? Are these chunks of peanut butter? I'm confused by the whole thing, honestly. Dark chocolate Bamba snacks, Bamba with hazelnut cream filling, Bamba peanut snacks. You're going to have to tell me which one so I can humbly suggest it to the Jana Marie, because she will want specifics and want an image. Oh, that looks cute. It's like a Cheetos. At Trader Joe's, there is the original Bamba, which is just puffs of peanut butter. The one you just clicked on is the right one. Yay, with the two elephants. Peanut snacks. I'll send her a variety of images because our Trader Joe has a... Ooh, now what happened? I'm sending it to Discord. Our Trader Joe has a habit of having very weird things. One for the money. Hey, Gordon says, It's always scary when Jana Marie says something, because it means she's there and she's watching. And immediately you go through your mind, what have I said? 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 I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Okay, maybe we're okay. Gordon says, exactly. It looks like Cheetos, but with peanut butter. That works. I've heard amazing things about the chocolate ones. Don't mention the chocolate ones or we won't be able to try the other ones because we have a chocoholic in the audience today. Gordon says, sometimes I feel like Jana is watching me. I know the feeling. And the feeling is true. She's there. Everywhere. And you can't escape her because she's Jana Marie. She knows everything. No hiding. Now, where's the chocolate one? Because she'll be interested in the chocolate one. Puffed peanut butter. I've never heard of such a thing. And why am I only hearing about this now? Oh! Jana Marie, I'll try them all. Yeah, she's everywhere. She is everywhere. And she has things to also say, so you have to be very careful. Oh, the hazelnut cream. Oh, that's a good one, too. Sounds fun. Hey, is hazelnut technically chocolate? I don't know. Nutella, I guess that's what I'm thinking of. That is chocolate, but maybe that's not this. Oh, I have a feeling we're gonna have big tons of puffs. Now, this does bring up the question, what else is Gordon hiding from us when it comes to Trader Joe snacking? Gordon says in Israel, nearly nobody has a peanut allergy. Well, that's very interesting. And people suspect that it's because even babies get Bamba there. Wow. I've heard of that exposure can help a lot of allergies. And we eat a lot of peanuts. And growing up, where I grew up, I can't remember anybody ever having a peanut allergy. And it seems like if you had one, you'd be very vicious about it, and you'd make it very well known to all of your classmates in your school that you have an allergy. But here on the East Coast, it seems like everybody's allergic to something. Oh, and also news for Gordon is our Trader Joe is out of cascatelli. We've checked 2 times and they don't have it. My ear pasta is missing. And they don't know when they're getting any back. I thought it was a staple. But that's another wonderful thing about Trader Joe is they break your heart. And in the Trader Joe Reddit group, over the weekend they started a conversation. Yeah. Oh, sad, Gordon says. And Gordon says, but as long as they tell you it's not discontinued, they will know. Yeah, I don't think they said it's discontinued. We just can't seem to find it. And we look. Janet looks. And they started this whole thread. What's the one thing that Trader Joe's has discontinued that broke your heart? And people were going back 15 years talking about this dessert or this sandwich or this concoction that they had 15 years ago that's never been back. And I can think of two things that have broken my heart so far. One was grainless granola, which is my favorite of all time. It appears that it's back because Jan Marie was able to find it, but for at least 4 months, it was not there. I said, well, it's over. The other thing from the winter, wow, was the chili bean and kale chili. The kidney bean and kale chili, I think, in a glass jar, very heavy. You could only get 1 or 2 at a time because they would hold them back. And we bought as many as we could, and it was slightly spicy, but very, very, very delicious. And we haven't seen that since probably December. I always request it, but I'm told it can't be found. Now this is the chocolate. Mama. La la mama. Okay, now I have to, just because we're doing it, I have to Discord these to the boss lady, or there's going to be trouble later. So I'm doing my part. Gordon is making us a list of all the things we need to get from Trader Joe that we don't know. Bamba. La Bamba. Send to Jana Marie on the Twitch. Done. Yes. Oh, that was fun. Oh! See, sometimes she just pops in and says hello and then she disappears forever, but she's still listening. This time, she's being active and saying, I am watching every single thing you do. But I'm glad you got it, Jana Marie, sweetheart. And I don't think you've gone to Trader Joe yet, but maybe you have, and maybe you'll go again. See, the problem with Trader Joe, where Jana Marie works, is it's right there. It's the danger and the advantage. She walks by it this close every time she goes to work, every time she goes on break, every time she goes home. Boom, 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 Trader Joe. And it's cheap, and the prices are unbelievable, especially compared to Whole Foods. I mean, Whole Foods has now just become a ridiculous mess. Sometimes they have things that you can't get at Trader Joe. So if you want a home delivery, it's a $15 delivery fee, and you're probably going to have to tip $20 on the order. So right there, out of the bag, you're down $25. It used to be free delivery with Prime, but I guess the pandemic is over and nobody's wanting it anymore. So they have to raise the price to keep it viable. I don't know, but I find it all very depressing. But the Jana Marie is here with us. I'm so happy when she participates, even when it scares me. And I am often scared by her, as she will testify. She's very cat-like, hides in dark corners. You think she's over here, but she's really over here because she went over here when you turned your back and she's over here. And you go look for over here and it's meow. It's very effective. So, hey, we're going to look at a couple, NFTs. Because like in the last 12 hours, so many different things have changed. It's just wild to me. Now, this thing that you see throbbing on the right, I find really super duper interesting. It's from a series of NFTs, 10,000 of them, and they're all unique. Some of them are super rare, some of them are rare. You can meow meow, whatever you want. And I can't figure out if it's a movie, if it's a GIF, I don't believe it's a static file, because if I hover over this, it should become a static file, but it's not. It's a moving file. So it's very hard to, save a copy because it's not static. So what is this, you ask? This is by this. Let's go ahead. This is the singer Sia. Yeah, Sia, her. A collection of 10,000 unique interactive art beings living on Ethereum. Thank you. Created by Sia and David O'Reilly. Souls began as a series of simple, colorful paintings that grew over time into an expansive, not expensive, they're very affordable, collection of never-before-seen digital beings built with love and shaped between two friends. Souls exist as virtual objects that can bounce, wiggle, dance, sleep, and even sing. Join the galaxy. See what we can create together. So this is what I found so attractive about this, because it's super duper interactive, is when you move your mouse, your little friend follows. And if you click, it sings a song. And that's Sia's actual voice. At least I think you can hear that. Let me see if you can hear it. This is the one time where I need my headphones. So the I-E-Oo's you see it, that is Sia's, I guess, singing voice. And then you can also grab it and move it around. Now, how can you do that? I've never seen this with an NFT before. I don't know exactly what it is or why it's allowing me to do this. But what I love about it is it gives your NFT a whole new kind of realm, a whole new life of playing. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, there it is. It's back. Wow, that was fun. And now it's smaller. I don't know how to get it bigger. Uh-oh. I've ruined it. So I think that's just delightful. I find it very fun, very exciting, interactive, very, very unique. And then I've been waiting months for this. This is our friend Ian Jones, who was thankfully and wonderfully involved currently in our Facebook alpha test on NFTs. And he's a wonderful guy, and he helps me and I help him. And this is his latest fascinating NFT. And it's two crows, and it's a one of one and a scary person in the middle with earrings. And in some ways, it goes with a previous NFT of his that I have that I will show you in a moment. But this is very different for Ian. I have not seen anything close to this as we see it. Now, I've seen the face sort of before, but not the crows, and not like that yellow disc. I find it fascinating. So we have that, okay? This is all like in the last 12 hours. And then as I'm preparing our show today, I see this. Gordon says, is it the moon? Well, that's a good question. Let's see if Ian tells us. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. His eagles, they're eagles, not crows, sorry. His eagles were companions, guardians, familiars. The way that the ancient runes and markings danced on their feathers, it was clear they possessed similar power to their master. Well, that's terrifying. Since it's mine, I'm saying it is the moon. A yellow moon. So this morning I'm preparing for the show, and I see this, and I think, wait a minute. What happened? Did something happen with my wallet? Because I have no memory of this I've never seen it before. I don't know what it is. Somebody wake me up. And you click on it, and Sia sings, and you move it around, and I don't know if it's a bear or a cat. I guess I have to say it's a cat. Is there moving and following you, which you could play with this for hours, and I probably will. And it says sell, so that means it's mine, and I'm thinking, owned by you, that is the catchphrase that you need to know when you're looking at NFTs. Owned by you is the clue that it belongs to you. Oh, it's going away. Oh, come back. Thank you. Yes, I missed you. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what happened. These are all the offers for it. There's the collection, so that I keep scrolling. Airdrop. 16 hours ago. To you from null address, which is, to me, Sia herself. I've decided. Now, some of these NFT places do that. They think you're important. They think you're a collector. You buy one, they airdrop you one for free. Ian Jones did that with me early on. Had a couple of his pieces. He airdropped me a couple other pieces. Now, I defend him as my friend for life. Simple little thing, right? So now I have 2 of these. And when you're dealing with NFTs that are fun like this, you want more and more. That's the problem with NFTs. It's you're never satisfied with just one. Oh, it's my friend's going away. I don't know what I did. Come back. The friend comes back. Oh, and bigger than ever. That's new. I don't see that with my other one. So you can sell this if you want to. I'm not going to because I think it's delightful. So now I have 2 new friends. I have this one, and I have this one. And they're both fascinatingly fantastic. Now, here's where it gets super interesting. Minutes before we were going on the show, one of my new friends said, hey, I have a whole new collection. Maybe you'll mention it on your Twitter. And I said, I would love to. How can I get you one? I said, well, airdrop me something and I'll promote it. They said, how do I airdrop you something? And I really only know this because I was able to do it myself yesterday with Gordon by airdropping, practicing, and it worked. Yay. And I said, for me, send it to me to boles.f, boles.f. Commissioner Gordon says, I have a question. I noticed in the description of the Sabet sketchbooks that you so kindly sent, rewards for ownership. So vague. Did you ever notice anything while you owned it? No. And usually, if there are any benefits, it usually goes to the first-time purchaser, which I was not. Those sketchbooks have been around a long time. Sometimes there's like unlocked content that includes like a PDF or some other kind of thing. Sometimes when you are an owner, like that, they'll airdrop you something. Like Sabet was selling some NFTs, and they said, look, if I sell out of these in 48 hours, everyone who bought one will get a free Sabet drop to them. So that's very interesting and very tempting. And so also, if you want to get on the whitelist, like for Sabet, you go into his Discord server, you verify yourself, you verify you are the owner of the collection, which will send you to a collab website, I believe, and it will scan your Ethernet wallet and say, oh, you own a couple of Sabets. So you're now whitelisted as an owner of Sabet. And most of these big names whitelist stuff like that, and they verify it by looking at your wallet to see if you have their work in your collection. So it can also mean that, you own something and you get a surprise. But those sketchbooks are very old, so I'm not exactly sure what the surprise was, but I didn't get anything. So this is my new friend. Concentrated Emulsion is the name of the collection. And my friend is Since to Side. Transferred, minted. Transferred, not an airdrop. Interesting. But it was an airdrop. And this is the look. And I find it very interesting. Now, this little crown thing is also another favorite of Ian Jones. And I'm going to be starting looking at this. It's the 3-point crown. And Ian Jones uses it on a lot of his stuff. And I think it's even his current avatar. So I'm going to be celebrating this later on Twitter because I like the artwork very much. It's very wild and very dangerous and very interesting. So I'm very grateful for that. That was a lot of fun. So now I want to see if I can get to my profile. There's my profile. Featured Ian Jones. So this is the first one that I have. That was my avatar on Twitter for a long time. That's now my banner on Twitter. This and this. I mean, they're sort of the same side of the same coin, I guess. It's very interesting to me. Where's my Twitter account? There we go. So this is the banner. This is the profile pic. And because it's NFT, you can click on it. Spirit 1 of 1. View the details. Meow. It's all there. The master. Like the detail. Facebook needs to do a little bit more of that, I think, on their NFTs. Let's see, here's another little crown. Not 3 points, but 4 points from Ian. Another crown. A lot of points. Not just 3. It was a 4-pointed crown. Very interesting. And there's Gordon. Hey, Gordon. So it's very interesting when things get just plopped in your wallet. What's the difference between an airdrop and a transfer? I think they're the same thing, but I really have no idea. But I'm grateful to have them both. And to celebrate them both wildly and efficiently. Because that's what we do here in this life and other lives beyond. And now we're taking a very brief blood pressure break. Returning in a moment. And we are back from break. Strange sound. I'm David Bowles. This is Bowles.tv, BOLES.tv, .television. And I hope you're doing well today. Hey, our friend El Beyonce, too, is here saying hello. Hello, friend. I hope you're doing well. I hope your medication is not affecting you in too negative a way. Our friend El Beyonce, too, is transitioning from male to female and is on medication to make that happen. And we want to make sure she's feeling well and doing well. So just shout out if you have something to say. If you're just here to hang out, that's cool too. We've been talking about NFTs. We've been talking about strange echoes. No, you're feeling better. I think that's what you mean. I think you're okay. That's good. I'm very happy to hear that. Computer is whining. Oh, maybe it's over there. Weird how sound plays with you. I have no idea what's going on. I just got here. Yes, no, and yes. Okay, I'll just fill in the answers myself. I'm glad you're here with us. And if you have a question or a comment, just shout out. Now, interesting news happened yesterday. Who is my old nemesis? You're crazy, but okay. Hey, join the club. I'm right there with you, my friend. Glad you're okay. I can imagine this transition with the medication and everything is really very taxing on your emotions and your intellect, meaning thinking straight sometimes might be a little difficult because you're changing very deep, important chemicals in your body. So my old nemesis died yesterday at 93 years old. This person did not know they were my nemesis. I made it clear this person was my nemesis. Many friends of that person did not care that it was my nemesis. And even in death, I still feel a little betrayed by this person. Claes Oldenburg is now dead. Claes was a very famous American sculptor, Swedish-American sculptor, excuse me, who is known for creating giant things. Oh, El Beyonce too says it is affecting my sleep. I can't sleep very well. Oh, I'm sorry about that. That's hard. We're going to talk about sleep in a little bit and how it's super important for your health. But I know that's beyond your control. Yeah. So Claes was 93 years old. And he was known for creating sculptures of giant things, which I admit is sort of interesting, like a cherry on a spoon. A giant badminton thing. I don't know what these are called. Shuttles. I don't know. A giant saw in the land. And people tended to think they were sort of interesting. And then many years ago, I would say the 1980s, late 80s, Claes Oldenburg was hired by the University of Nebraska-Lincoln to design a sculpture on campus. Okay, famous sculptor, a campus in the Midwest that very few people know about other than a football school. People were excited. And the deadline was getting closer and closer and closer, and Claes Oldenburg was very upset and couldn't figure out what in the world to put at the University of Nebraska. Nebraska, it's not for everyone. That's the new motto. It used to be Nebraska, the good life. And then they changed it because they have no self-esteem. Nebraska, it's not for everyone. Giant hamburger. Okay, not my thing, but I get it. So Claes Oldenburg decided to whoops. Well, now I can't find it. But I wrote an article about the ridiculous torn notebook. So Claes Oldenburg had to design something for the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. And he couldn't think of anything. He was very frustrated. So the story goes that the notes that he had taken, he was so furious that he crumpled up his notebook, tore it, threw it over his shoulder in disgust for the state of Nebraska. That it was so ugly and so confusing that there was nothing that could be done. There was no sculpture to be made. He had given up on the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Nebraska, it's not for Claes Oldenburg. And then the legend goes that slowly he turned from his chair. Giant corn. He didn't do that. He turned from his chair, saw his torn notebook on the ground, evidence of his disgust for the people of the state of Nebraska, and decided to make that his giant sculpture. And that's how a nemesis is born. And this is it. Claes Oldenburg's torn notebook at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Nebraska. It's not for everyone. These are his notes. Furious with the state. Couldn't think of an idea. Let's just make a giant homage to my temper tantrum. And we'll call it a torn notebook. And of course, the people of Nebraska were desperate to have some kind of artwork on campus that people could see. Everyone knew about the famous Claes Oldenburg going to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln to create a torn notebook. They weren't insulted. They didn't cry out in the night, "You are now our nemesis, Claes Oldenburg, for making fun of us with a torn notebook." Beyonce sang "Hey" to Gordon. And so they welcomed this obnoxious piece of art into the bosom of the state of Nebraska. Oh, sure. It's born out of his fury for not having an idea. He threw the notebook over his shoulder. Okay, sure. Oh, isn't that great? Let's really celebrate it. Let's give it a prominent place on campus. And Gordon says, "Hey back" to El Beyonce too. Leaving me in my disgust to Claes Oldenburg. Leaving me alone in my mourning of the loss of my nemesis. So I wish Claes Oldenburg well. I'm not happy with this piece of garbage. This is the University of Nebraska. His garbage that he threw over his shoulder is now an important part of the campus. Oh, isn't it great? Clay Oldenburg had a temper tantrum and then made art out of it. And because we're in Nebraska, not for everyone, we'll just pretend that this is really a wonderful piece of art that belongs here and doesn't make fun of us. Because we're no longer the good life. We are now the torn notebook. We are now the disgust of Clay Oldenburg, memorialized forever on campus at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Nebraska. It's not for everyone. So, hey, also yesterday, I wrote this article based on some research that had been done a couple of months ago. And I thought, oh my gosh, I got to get this out there. I mean, this is really sort of interesting stuff. Why am I holding on to it? Put it out there, old man. And so I did, and so I have. COVID-related athlete deaths, which sounds terrible. And what's so fascinating about this article and paper is that these wonderful young people, hey, there's El Beyonce too. Namaste. Sorry, I don't know if I said it right. You said it perfectly. Where athletes are getting heart problems because of COVID. And it's not just because of COVID. There is now evidence that also the vaccine is messing with the hearts of really fantastic, fit people. And now what are we going to do about it? SCD, sudden cardiac death, is rare. Even a single case is too many. Most are preventable. So I think this was very interesting. I publish it as I always do. Sometimes people comment, sometimes they don't, sometimes they send me email. Often they don't, because the people who read that blog are very nerdy. They're older like me. Oh, well, Beyonce too says, I have one new thing of my transition. Well, please share that when you are ready. And so yesterday, almost immediately after publication, and as I said, people who read that blog are old like me, and they're trying to live their best life by maintaining their health and their cardiac fitness through kettlebells and other forms of exercising. It's a blog, bowlsbells.com, for people who are over 50. But anyone can read as they do. I'll put the link in chat. And El Beyonce says, you have special underwear. Well, that's interesting. And now you have to tell us about it because I don't understand what it means. You have special underwear while you're taking your medication? Oh, you can search for it, but don't put it in live. Okay. What am I searching for? Is there a certain term I should be looking for? I will not put it live. See, nothing's. Oh, no, that's not right either. Oh, there it is. The chat box a little smaller. This sounds interesting. Okay. looking that up. Gaff underwear is what they call it, but I don't understand what it means or what it does. That's what I should look for, Gaff underwear. Gaff underwear. So I can understand what's going on. So it's special underwear that makes you look like you have female genitalia, even if you are a male with a penis. That is very, very interesting. And I guess the opposite way too, that if you are female and you have female private parts, a vagina, then there's like a hole where you can put something in there to make it look like you have a penis during a transition. Well, that's fascinating. And that makes a lot of sense because you're in the process. So it's a non-permanent way to help you psychologically prepare for your transition. Well, thank you for sharing that. That was very interesting. Oh, El Beyonce must have said something. You're not a moderator today, so you can't say whatever you want. I think moderators can say everything. You're a VIP, but the moderators get mashed. So maybe you can say it in a different way or use your emoticons. And we can do it that way. Because I don't have control over that. That's coming from the moderator bot. Oh, and now it deleted all your messages. Now that's one thing that I can't quite figure out is when these things get violated, they think that you're a troublemaker and you're not, so they delete all your messages. But it happens to the best of my friends, so it's not just you. Dora has been caught many times by the moderator bot, as our friend Kathy has. And Gordon says, remember, I'm going to call eggplant over. There we go. I can read what he wrote. You can't see it crossed out. It's like underwear with an avocado, but not all. Yeah, I cannot see it in this view. There's probably some view where I could see it, but not in my Streamlabs view. But it's very interesting underwear. I think it's a very smart idea. And you were right to warn me not to show it because I think it's fine, but there are people who might report it as being something that it's not. So we keep talking about that, and I'm just going to share with you this email that I got almost immediately after I published my article on cardiac and COVID. And this person said, hey, I have this problem. I said, what? Tell me more. So my new friend Kevin did. And this is how my new friend Kevin explained it to me. I started getting extremely tired a few weeks ago. I then had chest pains, seriously thought I was dying. I made an appointment with my primary care physician, and they got me in pretty quickly. Good. An EKG from last Monday showed irregular results, suggesting myocarditis, which is exactly what I was writing about in the BowlsBlogbells.com article. The doctor recommended refraining from exercise and told me not to mountain bike or at least not to ride alone. Well, that's terrifying right there. Why? Because I was going to have a heart attack? To simulate your male body part in boxers of pants. Got it. Thank you for that. Perfectly done. And so this heart guy ordered an urgent echocardiogram. And I don't know where this person lives, but could not get me in until August 17th. That's a month away. I find that ridiculous. To my knowledge, I did not get infected with COVID. My immediate family took a bunch of PCR and rapid tests over the course of the pandemic. I received both Moderna shots and a booster. I have to wait another month to find out more. That's Kevin. Now, I replied to Kevin and said, Kevin, I feel for you. That's really terrifying. Don't do any of these things, but we can't really find out what's going on with you for another month. Why? Now, I told him my cardiologist has an echo machine in their office. So if there's any problem whatsoever, they put you right on the machine. And it takes about 20 minutes. They do your neck, they do your heart, they do your stomach, they do your aortic artery, all of that. And maybe it's because of our insurance where we are. We are not part of an HMO. We are a PPO, which is much better, meaning we don't have a primary care physician. We can go wherever we want to go, anytime we want, with no referral, as long as they're in network. And we're lucky that a lot of the doctors in this area, in Jersey City and New York City, are nearby and in network. But there are limits to it because our insurance is through New York State. So if we go too far outside of Jersey City, even like Englewood, those doctors are not approved. They are not in network. Even if they're in network, they're not in our network. Very bizarre. But so far, Jersey City seems to be safe enough, close enough, I guess, geographic enough to be safe. And I said, you cannot wait a month to find out if you are having a heart attack or if your heart is in danger. You've got to find a different way, my friend. And he didn't respond because I have a feeling his insurance is maybe not so great. So he has to wait until an appointment is available. And waiting a month to get an investigation into your heart, to me, is unreasonable and unacceptable. And now we're taking a break. In a moment, we shall return. And we are back from break. I'm David Bowles, and this is Bowles.tv, BOLES.television, here with you live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Got a very interesting show today, winding up with two interesting stories that have been in the news. And one is from the Wall Street Journal, which just shocks me to no end. The other is from Rolling Stone, that's all over Twitter this morning, that I find absolutely hilarious. I cannot believe that the Wall Street Journal, which is a very conservative newspaper, business newspaper, owned by Rupert Murdoch. They hate anything liberal, anything Democrat, anything Joe Biden. And yet they have this article about longer sleep makes you a healthier person, which has been well known for many times that I've talked about it and research that we've looked at, that you really do need 7 to 9 hours of sleep a day in order for your heart to be rested and to recover. And there are some people among us who only get about 6 hours of sleep. I used to only get 4 or 5, and then I sort of wizened up. And now I try to get 7. And usually it averages out to about 7 hours and 20 minutes, which I accept. But the Wall Street Journal publishing this is like verifying it for their old cranky white Republican guys, which maybe is a good thing and maybe is a bad thing. But for all of us, more sleep is better than not enough sleep. The American Heart Association last month added sleep to its list of factors critical to heart health, a list that includes 7 others such as diet, physical activity, and blood pressure. The recommendation reflects a widening scientific consensus on the role sleep plays in helping prevent heart disease. I tell people this and they don't listen to me. They think 4 or 5 hours is enough. So now I've printed this out and I've saved it. And I'm going to keep referring to it all the time. The more we learn, the more we know how instrumental sleep is to heart health, says a nutritional doctor at Columbia University. More than half of Americans said they had experienced increased sleep disturbances during the pandemic, according to a survey last year commissioned by the AMA. 57% said they had more trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. 46% slept less, and 36% said they had more disturbing dreams. I kind of agree with that. Some of that happened to me. Boy, sometimes you just get into a dream sequence and you can't get out of it. You wake up, go to the bathroom, go back, and the same freaking dream. You can't get out of it. And I've heard this as well, and people don't believe me about this either. But here it is in the Wall Street Journal. If you don't get enough uninterrupted sleep, you are more at risk of developing hypertension, type 2 diabetes, and obesity. You wouldn't think that not sleeping enough can lead to those kind of really serious heart troubles. We have a friend right now who's in the hospital for diabetes, hypertension, and she's up all night posting on Facebook, never sleeps. And she wonders why she doesn't feel good. Normally, a person's blood pressure is expected to fall at night by 10% or more from daytime levels, a change the scientists call the nocturnal dip. The dip appears to help keep blood pressure low during the day. Scientists have found that blood pressure in people who get only 5 or 6 hours of sleep a night do not experience that dip. Those less rested people have higher daytime blood pressure and cardiovascular risk that some scientists say is likely because of increased sympathetic nervous system activity and a rise in stress hormones. How many years 20, 30 years, did I get 4 or 5 hours of sleep? Raising my blood pressure during the day, and now I have high blood pressure. Now I have to take medication. Foolish. Don't be foolish. Like me, be smart. So it's this wonderful article. I'm putting the link in chat. I don't know if you're able to read it, but if you have trouble, you can send me a message. Boom. And finally today, in Rolling Stone, all over Twitter, fake accounts fueled the Snyder Cut online army. Now this I really like, because when this was going on, it all seemed very fishy and very funky and very fake. But it appeared to be organic and genuine. But if you know what you're doing, you have experience with bots and attacks and crowdsourcing, the whole thing smelled fishy. Zack Snyder was becoming increasingly agitated. He was the director of Justice League Batman movie. Over the course of several weeks in the spring of 2020, the director repeatedly demanded that the names of 2 producers be removed from his upcoming recut of Justice League, known as the Snyder Cut. The DC super movie hero that had tanked back in 2017. His high-powered CAA agent began calling Warner Brothers daily to check on why the pair had not been cut out of the list of credits. Simultaneously, Snyder's wife, Deborah, another producer on the film, started pressing an executive in the studio's story department with the same directive. Snyder admits the couple asked the studio to intervene after a personal plea was ignored. On June 26, 2020, Snyder had enough. According to multiple sources familiar with the matters, Snyder confronted an executive in the studio's post-production department and issued a threat. They are dragging their feet on taking their names off my cut. Now I will destroy them on social media. Very Lex Luthor-like. And I'm sure I should say Joker-like because I'm in the wrong milieu. And then they go on to talk about the toxic environment and 2 firms contacted by Rolling Stone that track the authenticity of social media campaigns spotted inauthentic activity coming from the Snyderverse community. And another firm found the forsnydercut.com domain, which claims to have made the Release the Snyder Cut hashtag to go viral in May of 2018 and become the landing hub for efforts to bring Snyder back to the helm of the DC Universe, was, at least at one point, registered to a person who also ran a now-defunct ad agency which promoted its ability to bring cheap instant avatar traffic bots to your website. So this is a deep dive into what Zack Snyder appears to have done with bots to try to get his Snyder Cut released and to cut out 2 producers from the show. Wow. There are certain patterns that bots give off that we saw here with the Snyder incident. They arrive at almost the same time, in huge numbers, and many times the origin of thousands or even millions of messages can be traced to a single source or 2. Sometimes they can be traced to unusual servers in remote countries, and their content will be exactly the same. Very sneaky. Clever. Probably didn't think he'd ever get caught. But time and tide is always on the side of the right. On February 27, 2017, Snyder showed his first cut of the much-anticipated Justice League, intended to be DC's answer to Marvel's all-star superhero juggernaut, The Avengers, which had earned $1.5 billion worldwide 5 years earlier. Executives at the studio, headed up at the time by someone named Kevin, felt the film had major issues, including that it was convoluted, true, still too long at more than 2.5 hours, absolutely true. Awful, awful movie, and the Snyder Cut was even worse. Total and complete garbage. The movie was deemed a disaster and a full-on failure by those in the room. And as a result, the studio pivoted and enlisted Whedon, who was in Marvel Universe, to come on as a writer and consultant. It was a humiliating turn for Snyder. Then the timeline, they take him apart, what he did, how it all worked, how he managed to get his way and get this Snyder Cut released by popular demand that wasn't coming from real fans or real people. Oh no, it was coming from bots from Serbia and Russia. The Snyderverse is a big fake out. I'll put the link in chat because it's such a good story. Fake Zack. And the DC Universe. At the time, it's like there was all this excitement. Oh, that's an ugly URL. All this excitement over the Snyder Cut. And I thought, oh gosh, the Snyder Cut is going to be really different, going to be really great. And then you watched it, and it turned out to be a big pile of nothing. Wasn't very interesting. Didn't make a lot of sense. Sometimes directors take back their movies and they really recut them in the way that they really want to tell the story, and it's much more interesting. This was not the case in the Snyder Cut. It just kind of looked and felt like a second money grab. And so that's our show for the day. I thank you so much for being here. It's been a wonderful time seeing you. Talked about a lot of interesting things. Talked about the Snyder Cut. Talked about Gaff underwear with the now famous El Beyonce 2. We talked about Peanut Puffs with Gordon. We talked about Elgato Software with the madness that is myself. If you have any questions or concerns, you can find me via email at david@bowles.tv. On Twitter, hey, @DavidBowles. Super follow to follow. On Facebook, it's regular old BOLES. Instagram is Bowles Books. TikTok is Bowles TV. And if you're interested in joining our Discord server for conversation, fun, laughs, joy, lemonade, there's the link in chat. So I thank you so much for being here. You know where to find me. Have a lovely nap, a good rest, a long sleep of at least 7 hours. And when ye shall awaken, may your soul be filled with joy and contentment. I'll see you tomorrow.